Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi race fans, welcome. We're live tonight here for the RSR Racing League here at Atlanta Motorspeedway. They call this place Hot Atlanta for a reason, because it's going to be hot and fierce on the track here. Qualifying underway. Well, actually, we just finished it. These guys here, want to welcome them. And want to welcome on Corey up here in the booth. Right, Corey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's going to be an exciting race, hopefully, tonight. Hopefully, these boys put on a pretty good show.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, let's grid them up real fast. Here we got Robert Fitzpatrick putting it out front on pole. Brock Potter right there in second. Matthew Rush up in third. Jarrett Small sitting in fourth. J.R. Miller up in the fifth. David Duke up in the sixth. Noel Potter seventh. Sam, I'm going to say Boutwell. We'll figure that out later on in the race. But hey, he's sitting in eighth. Craig Burns there in ninth, and Trevor Speed rounds the top 10. So look to the rest of this field. I always say, man, there's some definitely bad, fast drivers and some bad, fast hot rods. About to do some awful bad, fast things on a fast track here tonight.
Oh, yeah. And back in the 11th place, you got the number 22 of Harold Watkins, the number 18 Scott Taylor, the number 82 Clint Mata, 89 of Sean Smith, the 68 of Andrew Little. Starting in 16th, it will be the number 75 TikTok machine. I checked out his TikTok videos just prior to this race. It will be the 75 of Michael Martino. The 78, Kevin Sylvia. Something. We'll figure it out later on tonight. Starting alongside him, it'll be Jeffrey Knight, and he is also the final driver putting down the time for tonight's event. Starting in 19th, it'll be by luck of draw Curtis Preston. And rounding up top 20, it'll be the 84 of Daniel Gonzalez.
All right, man. I tell you what. Well, like I say, it's going to be a good one. Atlanta. I don't know how. Have you drove Atlanta lately here, Corey? I have not drove Atlanta in a while. It's been a while since I've done it.
Did a 1987 car here that one of the peak drivers put on. It was rather loose out there, and I'm sure these Cup cars are going to be even looser.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've actually, had a chance to go around and experience, some of the tracks here lately. I haven't drove in quite some time, basically. So we'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see what these cars do. I love the Cup cars. I'm just a huge fan of the Cup cars in general. And, like what you just mentioned, they brought out the 87 Cup car. That's a new addition here at iRacing, which is, what's kind of unique is normally on Tuesday nights now, and at least for the next 7 weeks anyways, it's going to be, I guess you might as well say it's Cup night here on the channel, because first off, we have the 87 Cup cars, and then we got the newer Cup cars right afterwards. So, kind of interesting. Go from different worlds.
Yeah, 2 different cars, 2 different ways of driving. This track will chew up them tires, and it looks like tonight they got unlimited sets down there in the pit lane, but we do got 50% fuel. So keep that in mind.
You brought up that right there, and I'm going to tell you what, I got one of the leagues. We're getting set here to go green flag here. We'll get that here in just a minute. Pace car's coming off turn 4, going to drop off on pit road. And old Robert Fitzpatrick's out front. He's going to lead this field to the green as we're getting set. Green flags in the air. We're starting the race here. RSR Racing League underway at Atlanta.
Yeah, pretty good jump there for the number 3 of Robert Fitzpatrick. He's going to get a good car length on the number 11 of Matthew Rush. He was your pole sitter last week, that number 11 of Matthew Rush.
Yeah, right there, man. Looking good. Everybody going to get single file. A big difference between these cars and what the other, like we said, the older style Cup cars are. These cars got a lot more downforce, a little less horsepower in them, but a lot of downforce, a lot of handling to them. And right now, you can tell everybody kind of single file, being patient so far.
Yeah, pretty well single file all the way back. Yeah, everybody's single file.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the kind of racing that you're going to, become used to with these cars here, especially on the track here. Like you just said, it can get slick, can get very, very treacherous at times. So we're going to have to see what happens here.
Oh, we got a car off the grass. Into the pit wall. Oh, dear. That looked like it hurt.
I'm showing Sam.
Yeah, number 46.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Let's go back on the replay. Everybody loves Rex. Didn't bring out a caution, though, because sometimes on iRacing, if you're able to get off the track in time, it's like he went on the inside. They were almost 3 wide right there in the turn. He might have caught the apron a little bit, and that's another thing we'll speak of. You can very easily upset these cars. Yeah, he's coming out of turn 4, and that thing just looped around on him, and then he goes to the grass mowing it.
I've done that a handful of times myself.
Yeah, and folks, I know you're out there like, well, why didn't I throw a caution? Why wouldn't a caution go? In iRacing, I don't know the technical terms. I don't know the technical specs of what their threshold is or anything, because I've seen weird stuff on iRacing. I mean, just many different races we do. But if you get far enough, certainly off the track, it won't throw a caution. It looks like he was far enough off. Obviously, he's on the pit road. Good battle going on here about 4th and 5th place. Got J.R. Miller. He's got David Duke right there along with him. They've been duking it out between each other. Kind of right now, just everybody being patient. And what we're seeing here, Corey, is kind of throughout the field, as you scroll through, everybody's running single file, but that doesn't mean, for one moment they'll be single file. Next thing you know, you got a guy passing.
Yeah, I think these drivers are just getting a feel of the track, getting a feel of their setup, getting how tires are going to wear out, figure out their fuel mileage, see if they can pull off any gnarly looking strategies out there.
Well, we'll just look back. Oh, you're right. And I agree with you on that one. But back here in the back, the number 75 machine there, Michael Martino. Kind of that car got a little tight going in and went straight up the wall. That's something we didn't speak of earlier, how this car is. I got a feeling it's going to be loose going in, tight coming off. And we can already see some of the cars kind of having a little trouble trying to keep it down low. They're traveling up to that middle part of the track. It tells me now that might be a little bit tight in the center. So, have to watch for that throughout the run.
There, I think David Duke went off track on the back stretch, but he gets back up on. He didn't lose a spot from what it looks like, though.
A good run by him. Battle in front of him there, still J.R. Miller. JR's got a nice looking machine there. He's moving up through the field. I think that's what we're going to see here, guys. I don't think. Oh, car in front of him. Yeah, that was close.
That
was Jared Small.
More carnage. The number 12 machine. That'd be Craig Burns down in the inside wall. And there's still wrecking. Oh, dear.
Let's go back on the replay. That did not throw a caution in. That started in front. They all tried to avoid the one. And, whoever that was hit the wall. It was Small. Boy. Small actually went up and hit the wall, came back down into the 12 machine there of Craig. And, again, now that was unusual that did not throw a caution because he was right there on the track.
Yeah, that was very, very unusual. It should have brought out a caution under normal circumstances in real life, but this is iRacing.
Yeah, I know, man. I tell you what, it's crazy. Now, lap times. I'm looking through the field here, and pretty much throughout the top 20-25, everybody's within. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Everybody's within. It's less than a second. So what that tells me right there, Corey, is you're not going to see anybody come through the field like gangbusters. You'll probably see some people later on in the run, if it goes green, that know how to better utilize their tires, et cetera, and maybe pick some guys off one by one. But to have a guy, I think track position is going to be key tonight.
Oh, it most certainly will be key tonight. These tires are easily wearing out. The leader himself is about a good second and a half off of what he set on the pole tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what they call Hot Atlanta. It's definitely one of these trickier style tracks. Kind of driver's tracks. What's up, Toad Mater? Man, I ain't seen you in a while. What you been up to there? I appreciate everybody tuning in. We're at Atlanta Motorspeedway, RSR Racing League. We appreciate these guys here. Coming out here and letting us broadcast this thing. We're here live on OSR Network on the Facebook and YouTube. So check that out there. Let me know how it looks and sounds to you. Right now, it's a good race throughout the field. We got a few battles here and there. For the most part, I think these guys, you said it there, Corey, kind of being patient, kind of seeing what their car's going to do. You'll see every once in a while, a guy make a pass. I think that's just typical Atlanta here, though.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, looks like we got a good little battle heating up between Harold Watkins and David Edwards for the 13th position. David be looking on the outside. Will he get it done on the turn number 2? He's looking. He's peeking. There's a slow car right in front of Kevin Sylvia. He's going to have to check up. Will he take it through wide, or will he play it smart and keep it 2?
Let's see what you're talking about here.
13, 12.
I got you. Yeah, they're in a good battle right there. Yeah. Jeffrey Knight is involved there. Like I said, Harold, Kevin Sylvia. A lot of those guys right there in a good battle. Almost 3 wide for the moment. And they thought better of it. I don't know if they want to continue doing that. It looks like 78 car we were just talking about there. Looked like a little tight. He got up into the turn there. The car wants to go up the track. Just does not look like it wants to rotate too well. Look at him. He's way up the track.
And wall.
Yeah, he's up in that wall, man. Wow. Well, the only way you can combat that is basically back your turns up. And the problem with that is you're going to get past, if the car's already pushing, that means you've abused those tires a little bit. But we said it. We're going to start seeing guys that are very good at utilizing tires and utilizing a long run. Looks like the 22 Harold right there. He went a little bit high. It's a nice looking Pepsi machine, though, or DuPont.
Yeah, it's an old Jeff Gordon paint.
Yeah, nice looking. They got some nice paint jobs out here, by the way. I mean, I've looked at some of the. Obviously, we talk about sponsors a lot. Throughout series and so forth and so on. Some of these guys have, obviously your mainstream sponsors that we're all familiar with. Some of them actually have real style sponsors that they actually doing their companies and so forth. But man out front, Robert Fitzpatrick, he's got company. J.R. Miller has been a madman on the move. He is up to second, and he's going to battle for the lead here. Wow, that guy has just done nothing but just come through the field. He's one of those I was talking about. He'll pick them off one by one. Yeah,
and don't count out that number 11. He's right there on him. If either these two start battling or get into a little bit of contact, he's going to be right there and pounce.
Absolutely. That'll be old Matthew Rush right there. I like he's in too much of a rush to get around him, but I would ride at this moment. If JR seems that he can't get there, because you see Matthew going to peek to the inside. He's going to try it. He'll go door to door.
He's going to clear him.
Out of what I saw right there, Corey, looked like JR, he's coming through the field pretty good, but that car's just not now wanting to go down on the bottom. It's kind of traveling up the track. So maybe he used up a little tires coming through the field there.
Oh, look at this. Rush is looking on the outside of Robert. This is about to get heated. Could we get a lead change here within a lap or so?
He keeps up that pressure right there. I mean, we're starting to see now. This place kind of reminds me of a Charlotte a little bit. Oh, he got a good run there. Looks like the leader, Robert, had to check up coming out of the turn. Here's a word that I use week in and week out here, Corey. Momentum. And you can lose a lot of it at this track.
Momentum. Exactly.
This drag race to the line. Matthew held
Kicker will read. Matthew.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. But I think right now if Robert can hang, well, no. Oh, that car got tight.
There he goes. Push.
Yeah, that car got tight.
He's cooking. Tight. Oh, yeah. Here comes Mr. J.R. Miller on the inside of Robert.
Perfect example right there. Perfect example of tires getting used up. Car won't turn. Right there is a perfect example of it. You can see Robert's fighting with that machine now.
And let me remind all the race fans out there, this league does use stages, and the first caution for first stage will be on lap 40. So these guys got to think about where they want to be for stage points. Obviously, if you win, you get 10 points, and that can go a long way to helping you get into the championship battle at the end of the season, where the champion picks up a cool $50 of iRacing credit.
There you go. Heck yeah. I don't know if they threw the caution or not. They didn't say if they were going to throw a caution. But you're right. It is lap 40 and 40, and obviously 60 is the other one. So it says stage 1. Well, that's kind of crazy. It says stage 140, stage 240, and then the final 60s. I don't know how that's going to work.
That would make it lap 40, lap 80, and end.
Right, yeah. But the way they wrote it is 40-40.
That's how real NASCAR writes it.
40-40. So we're going to do 2 stages on 40.
It looks like a pretty good battle back here for top 5 heating up.
Well, what you're seeing now, guys that are good on the long run, you're starting to see guys that aren't so good on the long run. The tires are starting to get to the point of where they're wearing down, and you're going to see guys maybe closing up. That's what I'm saying. Throughout this field, it's going to kind of, they're all single file, but you'll start seeing guys, man, have to, pass here and there.
Yeah, and don't confuse yourself with that number 46 back there in that little battle. He is multiple laps down from an incident real early in the race.
Yeah, I hate that. That's Sam, I'm going to say Boutwell. Is it Boutwell?
I'm pretty sure it's Boutwell.
Boutwell? All right, sounds good. We're close.
Looks like you got Curtis Preston looking on the inside of Brock Potter. Brock Potter started second in this race. He's back into the 8th spot, looking to get a little bit of pressure put on him by Andrew Little in that WC machine.
Yeah, good run by these guys right now. Like I said, you just got to be patient here with the tires, got to be patient with the car. That old Matthew Rush, the man out front right now. J.R. Miller in second, Robert Fitzpatrick's third, David Duke there in fourth, and Noel Potter in fifth. Look at the rest of the field here, just kind of scrolling through because it's just kind of typical Atlanta, you know, like an auto club style race. It is a 1.5 mile race. Atlanta's been around for a very, very long time, but they get spread out, and then, you know, they kind of bunch up a little bit and have a few little battles here and there, like you see in this pack right here around what we was talking about, Trevor, Curtis, and Brock.
Oh, 84 has shot it down pit lane. I don't know if that's a scheduled pit stop or not.
Well, we're on lap 26. What do you think? You said it's 50% fuel. I'm going to say 26 laps. How long do you think that they can go on fuel?
Tell you the truth, I haven't ran this track in these cup cars in so long, I wouldn't remember a full fuel run if I had to guess. But, I mean, he did bring the 21 down with him. It might be a scheduled pit stop for those two.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I appreciate it, Toe. Well, if anybody out there in the league's watching or anything, that's a good question to ask. What you know, I'm used to seeing a lot of 100% fuel runs, and then we can kind of tell you a little different. Good battle going on here, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of pit stops happening, a lot of green flag stops happening throughout the field now, so it's going to kind of jumble up the running order. So I got a feeling about 26, 30 laps is going to be our mainstay for pits here. Now, when I say that,
your leaders faded too.
So when I say that, Corey, I always get fooled a lot of times because the first pit stop, a lot of these guys might short pit it, and they can go a little longer. So that's why I say I'm gonna say between 26 and 30 is going to be the number.
Yeah, definitely. Between anywhere 25 30 laps, it looks like your fuel mileage. I mean, you're going to get these guys started at the back that are going to try to stretch it.
Like David Duke, he hasn't pitted yet.
Got your caution here.
Well, that's the reason you would do it. I mean, let's take for instance like a guy like David Dukes, which he's coming into pits now, which is on lap 30. So and I don't know. Oh yeah, he's coming down on pit road. But then you got a guy like Trevor Speed. Scott Taylor still has not made a pit stop. They're staying out, and the only reason you would do that is obviously catch a caution. Really, that's about the only reason I would say you'd probably do it.
It's about the only reason I ever do it.
Okay, Toe out there says 35-40. That's, you know, and I would say 35. I don't know about 40. That's probably stretching it. But again, I've been fooled many a times by the first pit stop. A lot of these guys will take that first pit stop way early, and then later on in the race, we'll go, oh, hey, look, hey, Corey, you remember earlier in the race they went about 25, 30 laps, and then the next thing you know, they're doing 40, 41 laps, you know. So I've had that happen many a time.
Here comes Trevor Speed down in the pit lane and the scheduled pit stop lap 32 when he crosses over the line.
So that tells me that they might be able to stretch it to lap 35 then. So a lot of these guys who pitted around 26 short pitted it just to maybe see what they could do later on in the race. Guys like Robert Fitzpatrick, who is right up front right now, he's in third. Obviously, he'll cycle back around to the leader. Matthew Rush right there sitting in second. Andrew Little. Now, well, I'll tell you what, a driver that we just did not mention who must have had a penalty on pit road, J.R. Miller. Remember, he was up in third going in, but he had a minute 27-second pit stop. We missed that one because he must have had a penalty.
Had to have crossed before the cone.
Yeah, he's got no damage. You don't see any damage on that car. He's got a look. Well, yeah, he must have bumped the wall somewhere that we didn't see either. He does have a little right side damage, so I don't know if he took some optional repair or what. But J.R. Miller, guy who came through the field, boy, he was just hot coming through it. Was up to third before these pit stops, way back in 23rd position. He had just to give you an idea, had a minute 27 pit stop And, that's why I was kind of looking at him, because when I see Robert Fitzpatrick, I'll get that right here. When I saw him cycle through, and then I saw Michael Rush in the Napa car right there, I was like, well, where's JR? I had to look through the field there. He's way back off the pace.
Oh, yeah, definitely a penalty, or he took some damage, which, with stages, if there's a caution, I wouldn't have took the optional damage, so he had to have had a penalty during his little pit stop.
Yeah, and I'm kind of unsure. Like I say, again, not 100% sure there. Power wheel out there like 20 laps. Yeah, now, you hitting on something there, Toe, and that's something we haven't not really talked about either here, Corey, is, we're sitting there talking about fuel and stuff of how long they can go, but tires, it's kind of a flip side here on this track. I feel like the tires will give up before that they give up out of fuel. So it might come down to later in the race where, yeah, we can go 35, 36 laps on fuel if we want to drive a car that's on, ice, basically, if we can make it around the track. I've seen races like that before. Some tracks favor, obviously, the fuel mileage deal. Some tracks, it's on the flip side with the tires, and I think this place is more of, yeah, you want that pit stop because the tires, they fall off so fast.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. This track will chew those tires up. I've been on this track, and personally, I'm screaming for tires by the backstretch.
Yeah, there you go. Me too, man. I tell you what, good battle about around 7th, 8th place spot there. Curtis Preston, Sean Smith there in the mix. Jeffrey Knight hanging on to it. So we'll just have to get an update here throughout the field. Good-looking drivers, good-looking cars. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're racing here live at Atlanta Motorspeedway, the RSR Racing League, and just to let y'all, let you know that it's a new league to myself here at the channel. Obviously, I'm not sure if the league itself is actually new, but we are coming up on our first first stage of the night, which will be lap 40. We've got about 2 more laps. And from my understanding here, Corey, you have to complete that lap. It's not just once you get to 40, oh, boom, you're good. But you definitely have to complete lap 40 before to make it official. That's in the real style. And the top 10 all get bonus points. And it's pretty much one, make sure I get points right here.
It's 10 points for 10 points. The stage winner. Plus,
okay, so it's a point each.
I think this league does the...
So it's a point. What else getting at? It's a point. It's a point. Pretty much it's a point. 10 points for the leader, point straight down all the way to 10. So 10th place gets 1 point, leader gets 10. They start off with 43 points if you win. So basically 43 points for first, and then it's a point all the way down. And then obviously, like what you were just going to say, they do have stage winners, leading the most laps, leading a lap, things like that. And we'll get into the point situation as that goes on in the season, because we've got quite a few races left here to go. I mean, it's early. Those points are just going to flip-flop a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's real early. This is only their second race of the season, so
oh yeah,
they got a lot of race. And there's our caution for stage end. It looks like Matthew Rush will get your stage number 1 win.
So they are going to throw the cautions for stages. Okay, so we found that one out.
And it looks like Michael Martino may just get the lucky dog here on this stage end.
So with that said, strategy's got to be playing in here. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what would make this even more? And again, hey, look, I don't get into the rule side of the league. Tire limits would definitely make this interesting.
It definitely would. Now, in terms of strategy for getting back on the lap, there's about 5-6 cars with 1 lap down, plus your lucky dog. If I'm the back end of the lap down cars. I'm going to stay out. Head for a quickie yellow.
It's going to be interesting to see who stays in, who stays out. How much you on that one? I don't know. I mean, obviously the leader's coming down. Well, Matthew.
Yeah, all of the lead lap guys are definitely.
And you know what? We missed that pass. Matthew passed the leader, so we totally missed it. We was in the back there watching some of the guys, so he passed Robert Fitzpatrick, ran him down and passed him.
Yeah. Huh.
To get that stage win, I don't know when he did it there, so. Well, let's see what he does. 4 tires, I believe. I'm pretty certain until we maybe get to the end of this race, I think 4 tires is going to be the norm. But again, look, you know me, it makes it exciting. I've got another league that, and iRacing, it's awesome that they just implemented a tire limit thing. And it has changed up strategy in races, a little more realistic, because now you can't just every caution come down and take tires. You have to really balance it out. And what it does is guys that you know that are just very, very fast, that just dominate. And that's what they're looking for, is to get those tires, center all the time. They can't. And it might bring somebody in the back up front and, give them an opportunity. You just never know,
Oh, yeah. I've ran a couple of public races in the 1987s, and if you save your tire set, if you save one tire set, it can make a difference out there on the track.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like all of your lap down cars are making a pit stop. Nobody pulling off the strategy of staying out. Maybe one car. It looks like Matt Upbrook is going to stay out to get a lap back under his yellow.
All right. Sorry about that. I was talking to one of the admins. Get some things going here. All right. I'll tell you what, in the caution here for the stage, and if we don't get a chance to speak with the stage winner this time, we'll get him on the next one. How's that?
There we go. That sounds like
trying to clear up a few. Like I say, been the first race of the season, and hey, get all the kinks. There you go. Yeah, that's the word we're looking for. Work out the kinks. We're live here under caution for the stage 1 here tonight. That man Matthew Rush got out front in front of Robert. Robert was leading it. And again, I apologize, was in the back there, and I don't know when he couldn't have been very long that he went around Robert. And because the last time I checked, Matthew was way off of him. Boom.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm 33. Last we knew Robert was in the lead, and come back, stage in, and Matthew is all of a sudden in the lead.
Yeah. But what we've seen here, you're right there. What we've seen here, Corey, is that word I use, momentum. And very well, we've seen cars go into the turn, and the car get very tight, go up to run up the track. They have to chase it. You lose a lot of momentum come out of turn. It doesn't take much for the car behind you to run you down. And tell you right, the tire limit stuff has definitely made it interesting. I'm a fan favorite of it, and the reason is I feel like it levels the playing field a little bit for drivers who. And I don't ever want to take anything away from any driver, because all these guys are exceptional and they come out here and they all have fun. But it does level the playing field. But that if you have a couple drivers in the league that are just exceptionally quick, let's say it that way. I mean, that happens in real racing. You got your top tier teams. But it helps a driver who might say, you know what, I can play the strategy game here. And if one of those guys up front miss it and miss that strategy, because I've always said this, Corey. Pit stops, mental mistakes, week in and week out, can kill you. And the number one area on the track that you can lose a race at is in pit road. I mean, that there. Yeah, even in real life, you see it all the time. Guys can lose a race right there on pit road. So I say it many a different times, man. Mental mistakes can cost you huge.
Oh, yeah. I've lost a few races myself on pit road.
Absolutely. Getting set to go back here. Green, Matthew Rush, Robert Fitzpatrick out front. I might have a time on his last name. That Fitzpatrick, man, it's kind of making my tongue get.
And right there behind him, it's going to be Andrew Little and David Duke.
Yeah. And David
Stacked
Edwards.
top four.
All right. So getting set here. 2x2. Atlanta Motorspeedway here. It's been a good one so far. Pace cars in turn 4. Going to take that hard left turn off on pit road and let these guys go back to work. Let's see if Matthew Rush can hang on. Let's see what he does if he tries to save some tires. As he was stage 1 winner here tonight. We'll go for another 40 laps. Green flags in the air. We're back racing.
And get a little jump off there on the start. He's going to get a good run into turn number 1 off of Robert. Oh, almost contact for 4th back there.
I saw that. Andrew Little, David right there. They had to kind of get it a little bit, straightened up. But, boy, look at Robert right now. He's going to put the pressure on the back end of Matthews on his back bumper. Let's see if we can get around him.
Putting the old chrome horns on him. He's going to look on the inside out of turn number 4.
Well, right now you've got new tires. You feel like a Superman with new tires. But remember, they fall off so quick. Do you push the issue now, or do you wait? And you see, man, right there, looks like Matthew, man, came out of the turn, just got a little bit tight. But he still was able to maintain.
Now, if I'm in Matthew's shoes, and I'm looking in my mirror right now, I'd back off. There you go, Matthew. He's listening to old Corey here. I'm like a Larry Mack of this.
Hey, well, right now they got David Duke says I'm coming to the party. Right behind him, here comes David Edwards. He's going to dive down. Looks like Matthew is stuck outside, nothing to do. 2 cars down low, about 3 up high. They storm off into turn 3. Good battle here for about second on back.
Oh, yeah, it's getting heated. These guys know what their cars can do. They learned it all in stage 1, and now they're going to go out and win at stage number 2.
Absolutely. You just said it right there. You learned a lot going into the first stages. Now you know what your car's capable of doing. Looks like they up in the ante just a little bit, maybe being a little more aggressive this round. We see that a lot. First part of the race, been a little patient. Let me see what my car's capable of doing. Now I know. Let me push the envelope just a little bit as the race goes on and see what I can do. That one machine of David Dukes turned up the wick here. He's trying to run down Robert.
And here's something I'm going to point out. This track, there's now some cloud coverage over this track. That track temp has dropped significantly from where we started at earlier tonight.
It has. Look at the 90 to 95 machine, or excuse me, that's 95, 29. Yeah, 95 there. David Edwards up high. He took the high lane there. And good battle there for second.
Oh, yeah. The 29 is also there right behind him, lurking.
Yeah, I got that. You're right, the 29 machine. That's actually old Curtis Preston. He's just trying to sit there and say, okay. And it's kind of wild. You've got David there in the Jack Daniels, Curtis in the Jim Beam. Let's hope they're not drinking any of those while they're racing, because the one, well, it'd be a bad day for him.
It could be a number 1 sandwich over here.
Absolutely. Looks like, man, they're going to go around it. David falls back. He just kind of let it. That was maybe a smart move on his end. He's seen that, hey, look, those guys want to be a little more aggressive, and he wants to be here early in the run. And we just talked about it, tire wear. Right there could be a perfect example of 2 guys in the front there, in front of David. He's seeing what they're doing. He's going to see, okay, will they use up their tires, and maybe later in the run I'm going to be able to run them right back down.
Oh, yeah, like you said, you got to pick and choose your battles out here. Do you want to risk cooking all your tire, or do you save them, drop a little bit, drop a couple positions, lose some track time, but you're going to save some tires, and towards the end of the tire run, you're going to be able to catch back up to those guys that cooked him, and David Edwards almost got up into the wall, but he didn't. It's gonna affect him. He's gonna get passed by about 3 of them.
Lost a lot of momentum right there, and you said it. He got up there in the wall really hard, almost. Good save. Now that's one thing about these cars. A lot easier to save than what the older Cup cars are. So you can get away with a little bit more than what you could with the older style machines.
Oh yeah. Well, these are running 550 horsepower engines. Previously, they used to run, back when I signed up on iRacing, we ran 900 horsepower.
Mm-hmm. And less downforce. Less downforce, too.
Oh, yeah.
That downforce helped. Boy, Jeffrey Knight came out of the turn, almost clipped that outside wall there for the moment. Got that 90 machine back in 6. Let's see what's happening a little further on back here. They kind of gotten spread out, not spread out, but single file up front. The 89 here, Sean Smith back in 11th. Got Matthew, looks like Sheffield, is that right?
That's Michael Sheffield, but yeah.
All right, he's back there. Nice looking patriotic style scheme, I guess. Oh, it's a Navy. Okay. All right.
Folds of honor.
Nice. Awesome. Like that. Like I say, I mean, we I love looking at some of that. I tell you what, now that's a good throwback. Now I'm gonna tell my age here in a minute. If you look at old Anthony, I'm gonna say Ludi. I hope that's right. 13 car. If you look at that, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's a throwback to an old Darrell Walter.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day. That's way back in the early 80s. He ran one of those. So throwback scheme way back then, and yeah, I'm kind of telling my age a little bit. So.
Yeah, I may have not been around back then, but that is one of the more iconic paint schemes over here in the NASCAR world.
Yep, absolutely. There's a good Hooters machine right there, old Brock Potter. I'm mistaken, Alan Kawicki rode one of those at one time back in the day. So just looking to kind of check out some of these cars back here. There's the TikTok car you're talking about with Michael Martino. So he does TikTok, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Whatever that is.
You don't know what TikTok is?
Well, I have it on my phone, but I don't know what it is.
Well, it's like YouTube, or you make shorter videos, like 30-second videos, and I don't know. My oldest watches it. I might scroll across and see one every once in a while. And well, never mind. He just ticked the wall. We better quit talking about it. We better quit talking about it. You know, we always got what they call the broadcasters jinx. We start talking about a good driver here. Next thing you know, they wreck.
Oh yeah, that's the old curse.
That is, man. I tell you what, I had that happen the other day. I was doing a race. Next thing you know, I was talking about the leader, and next thing he destroys the wall. We got a battle going on about 4th and 5th. Just got up there, Andrew Little and company. Man.
Oh yeah, they're 2x2, or was.
I think here's a case. I think here's a case of tires. You know, guys up here might have. Remember, we talked about that because look who has fallen off. David Edwards and company. Remember, they came straight to the front. I had a feeling that they were using a lot of tires to get up there, and then you got guys like. Well, actually, we've got a pass.
You got Preston up there.
Yeah, Curtis is one of the ones who was able to come through the front. And Robert Fitzpatrick's still there, and then Matthew Rush. But one of those are the guys he fell back. I think it was David Edwards there. Yeah, he fell off the pace. Just used up tires. I mean, we talked about it.
He cooked them up, and everybody took advantage of it.
Absolutely. Well, Toe, you a TikTok fan, man? This is who we was talking about it. Maybe we should start streaming over on TikTok. What do y'all think? TikTok racing. We'll call it TikTok racing.
Well, you'd have to get to some short track for that kind of video.
Yeah. We'll throw the highlights up on that one.
Oh, looks like you got Robert pushing a little bit of pressure. He's going to look on the inside into turn number 1 on Curtis. Is he going to be able to clear him out of turn 2? He is. Slide job out of turn number 2. Curtis is might going to look to the inside again, going down the back stretch.
Just don't have enough momentum to get right there on his back bumper. That was a good pass, though.
Oh, don't look now. Oh, Curtis making the early pit stop. Wow.
Yeah, see, this is strange that if they can go 35, 40 laps, these guys are, I mean, they're not the only ones. There's a lot of folks that are making these pit stops. And now you can see Matthew Rush up to second, Robert there out front. But I think tires, I think tires right now are what these guys, it's not so much the fuel. I think it's the tires are just giving up so quick here.
Oh, yeah. The track looks like it might be a little bit more warmer from earlier when we had a little bit of cloud coverage. So, dynamic track, dynamic sky. Track conditions matter too. It may not be a dirt track, but it acts like a dirt track.
There you go, absolutely. J.R. Miller, remember earlier in the race, came through the field, had a mess up on that pit stop. Well, he's back up to 19th. He's worked his way up. I mean, he's got plenty enough time, and obviously with the cautions on the stages, which we're looking for stage number 2 at lap 80. And I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood.
Patrick wrecking into pit road. That is not good.
Well, let's go back on him. Go back on the replay here and watch. Everybody loves wrecks. And what I was about to say on that one oh yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah, came in a little too hot, locked the rear brakes up, and it sent him into the wall.
Yeah. J.R. Miller, like I said, J.R. Miller.
And we got a caution somewhere out on the track.
Yeah, I got it. Still watching this one here with Robert right fast, and we'll go on that caution. All right, he's coming on pit road, and like you said, just tricky to get on pit road. Locked it up, and then, ooh, hard in the wall, too. Okay. Well, Clint Matoya, I hope I said that right.
Clint Mata?
Clint Mott. There you go. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and watch him on the replay here and let everybody see what happened. Nice looking machine there, paint job he's got. Looks like he just maybe kind of lost it out of the turn here because he's by himself.
Got a little tight.
Yeah.
Slapped the wall, spun in,
Caught the apron.
Barely caught
the apron, threw the car up the track. Yep. The car caught the apron. We talked about that earlier. Threw it up the track, went down on the inside, and from there slid to a stop.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. All those guys that just came down pit road, they are now trapped a lap down. They're going to get their lap back, but this opens the door for, say, the likes of Harold Watkins and David Duke to get fresh tires, and they're going to be in command of this race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
And about 10 or so, 9 laps to go when we go back green. It could get interesting for a stage battle.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what some of these guys do strategy-wise. Obviously, you're going to have to take the wave around if you want to. Well, say you got to take the wave around, but I'm going to say a lot of the guys coming the smart way is to take the wave around.
If you're J.R. Miller and you're 2 laps down right now, you got a stage end in about 10 laps, you're taking that wave around. Yeah. Get one of your 2 laps back, throw the tires out the window right here. They may be cooked, but you're going to get one of your laps back.
Well, here's the thing. There's only 5 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah.
Wow. So.
But a lot of those guys had just shot it down in the pit road and are about to get their lap back when we throw the wave around.
So it won't really hurt them too bad. They won't be that far up. And obviously, like you just said, we're going to be right at, about 10 laps to go before stage 2. So obviously, you're going to get another caution there. So it's not like they're on bad. Now, if this would have happened maybe 5 laps earlier or so, might have been a little bit different. Maybe 5 or 8 laps earlier, and they caught them guys a lap down. Yeah, so. But this is where it gets interesting. I mean, it is interesting. This is where the strategy. We'll just have to see.
this might be an interesting predicament here for most of these drivers. It looks like Jeffrey Knight and that number 90 Mountain Dew Toyota Camry. I don't know if he actually came down Perry Road yet or not.
No, he hasn't.
But here's the thing. The number 11 did, and he was able to get tires as soon as that caution came out, and he was able to beat Jeffrey. If Jeffrey Knight did not pit, and he's staying out on old tires, there's only going to be 5 cars on the lead lap here for the restart.
Yeah.
This is going to shuffle up some tire strategies.
Well, I'm looking right now. Jeffrey's only had 2 pit stops. Everybody else behind him's had 3 or 4. So evidently he's on a different cycle. I get what Jeffrey is thinking at this point. With everybody being a lap down, he is basically trapping the rest of the field a lap down. And I see what he's playing right here, and then I'll kind of explain it. By not letting those guys get back on the lead lap, because obviously if all those guys in front was to dive down on pit road, it would let them do the wave around. And the only way you can get a wave around is obviously if all the lead lap cars go on pit road. If one of them stays out, then there is no wave around. The only guy that gets the wave around is the lucky dog. But with that said, I see his play. He's got 5 cars right there with him. And those 5 cars are going to be battling for the stage. I got a feeling that it won't matter what Andrew, Sean, or any of them, they're not going to have enough time to make a lap and get around the field again, or around the track, before less than 10 to go. So I see the strategy. It's basically a 5-car battle. Obviously, if there is no caution up front, because we've seen that play out before too, Corey. Because here's the other flip side to it. We're going to have a lot of guys very, very fast, and some guys are going to be very, very slow.
We got at least 3 hungry guys wanting a stage win. I'm pretty sure those 3 are all on fresh tires. And then you got all those guys hungry to get a lap back.
Yep.
We could see some 3, maybe even 4 wide passing with those guys with fresh rubber on the
But
old
you know
rubber.
what this does too? This really mixes it up for a guy, let's say, like Robert Fitzpatrick, who is back in 13th. If he doesn't make it through the field and the caution flies at lap 80, so we're getting set to go back green, he's got a choice, because he's going to have, those guys a lap down are going to have to pit at that point. They cannot just stay out longer. They'll be sitting ducks. So let's see what happens here. Green flag flies back, and it's going to be around the aisle.
Here we go. We're wrecking. We're wrecking at the front.
Already.
And caution is thrown.
Wow. Well, we watched it live. Jeffrey King up front. We'll go back and let's go back and see it, one more time here. But we was watching it live there, Jeffrey King, and what I looked like pretty much was a classic spinning the tires on the start. Kind of looped it around. You saw David Duke taking the outside. He made a little contact, but at that point he was going around. But we'll watch it right here. The space car goes in. Yeah, he pretty much, Jeffrey was trying to get easy on it, but that car just would not get up and going. And yeah, it just spun the tires. 22 there, Harold in the mix, and checked the whole field up. Wow. Old tires.
Let's be real here. Not too many cars actually got involved. Just the 90 and 22. Everybody else, they just checked up.
Yeah.
The 3, he hit the back end of the 28 of J.R. Miller. He might have a little bit of radiator damage to that car. And no, he didn't. He didn't make any contact. It looked like it from a distance up here in the booth.
The 22 there of Harold, I know hit. He's got some damage on the right side. Let's look at Curtis's car right fast and see what he looks like. He looks pretty clean from here. Matthew looks pretty clean. Jeffrey Jeffrey's got a little nose damage on the front of that 90 machine. Obviously, he was the one who spun. He's got damage throughout the car. Andrew Little, looking kind of clean there. Trevor, look like he got any on his end. And Sean. But for the most part, looks like most of these guys were clear. A few guys up front. The 84 machine there, Daniel, looks like he might have got a little nose damage. Nothing too severe. The guy really came out clean on the whole ordeal there, David Dukes.
Oh, yeah. I don't even think he got any contact.
No, he didn't.
Out of that. I think he swerved just in the nick of time. I've done that a time or two in my racing career.
Well, caution real quick here. That's going to put us real fast and basically a textbook example of what old tires will do. You got to be careful because they'll spin right out from under you.
Well, you got Andrew Little now getting that lucky dog under here, so he's going to be at the back of the field. You got to keep that reminder in, the race fans. It is EOL for the lucky dog, which might actually help him a little bit if there's a wreck. And I do believe that number 11 of Matthew Rush, this helps him out a lot because he had to start at the tail of the field under that restart, and this is going to bump him clear up there with the lead pack leaders.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Like what you just said, Matthew Rush right now, and the problem is he's still going to be marred behind a lot of traffic, but he's been fast throughout the whole entire race here. Let's see how his car looks here real quick. Let's see the front side of it here. I think he's pretty clean. I don't think he's got any nose damage. Yeah, it looks pretty clean here. So
yeah. When we get the one to the green, he's gonna be told to pass on by all those cars 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 laps down.
And if anything, he's going to have a choice here then. Do you press the issue and try to win the stage?
Or absolutely.
Do you, I don't know, patience and just make it to the stage?
You push it, you get that stage win, you get some points. You get, I assume these guys are running for playoff points. Every little playoff point counts. As we see in the real world counterpart.
Let's see. So he is going through the field. He's going to get right up there. I think he's going to be around about 4th place.
Ticker's reading about 3rd on my end.
Yeah, 3rd, 4th. It'll figure itself out here in a second. I think they're going to put him in 4th. Going down low either way. We'll see. He's in good spot no matter what. So you got, actually, I mean, you're really only going to have, 5 machines up there running for this?
About
4 machines. 4 machines. Yeah, 4 machines.
Andrew got the lucky dog. He's having dropped behind the field, and looks like Jeffrey Knight lost a lap under his repair pit stop.
Now, my curiosity here is if a caution flies before the stage, I guess they're just going to count that as the stage because it's going to be right on top of 80.
Now, I don't know how you're running in this league, but
that's how it would work in NASCAR. I mean, that's how it would work in NASCAR.
Real world NASCAR, if there's a caution on the stage end, remember, we got to complete. We got to tick from lap 80 to lap 81.
Well, we would. That's what I'm saying. If there's a caution, let's say if we get to green and the caution, it's going to click past the 80 because it takes like 3 to 4 laps to do a caution.
Now, if you're back in, say, 11th on back on this, if we get a caution here as soon as we go green, I would personally pit as soon as you can.
Well,
Assuming,
you're gonna have to if it.
well,
I mean, we're gonna
nah,
have
because
to.
you'd get a black flag. You'd get a
Well, they went
EOL.
single file this start.
They did.
That's kind of straight crazy. You
That's
can already
old school.
see. Boy, I tell you what, them older tires, you can already see they play a factor on the start. But David Dukes up front is going to head out. He's going to have about 3 laps here before the stage.
They're door banging that back there in midfield for lap down positions.
Oh, they're
I
going
remember
to.
all these guys are racing for stage points. Top 10 get points out of the stage end. They're going to
Absolutely.
beat each other's doors up for 10th place.
Well, battle's on for second. Matthew Rush, we talked about it. Matthew's probably not going to sit back. He's up to third. He's going around here. Harold, caution's out.
Oh, dear. The Jeff Gordon Rainbow Warrior car involved the 88.
A lot of cars involved right there. Well, that's pretty much, I'm going to say, going to do it. Stage-wise.
Yeah.
Got to do it for us. So, till I get confirmation David Dukes is going to win this stage. Let's go back here on this replay here with Ryan. Now, he's by himself, and I don't know if he's actually the cause of it. I don't think he is. I think he's more or less a victim here. He's by himself. I do see another car, David Heel. Yeah, I think David Heel in front of him. He's in the pack right there. Oh, yeah, David just gets turned going out of turn 4. And like you said, Curtis nowhere to go. Taps him.
Ooh, hard hit to the radiators of 90 and the 21. Right at the tail end of that wreck. That might just be the night for us, too.
Well, like I say, we're on top of lap 80. It's going to click way over. Lucky dog for sure. So I'm going to say David Duke's going to be stage 2. Well, it's been good, and you know, this is typical with how races transpire or take place. They go good for a little bit, and then the guys start pushing a little bit more, so it happens.
It certainly does. Here we go, stage winner, David Duke. Number 1, Tennessee car, Team Speed Racing Network. Well, I don't have the ability to pull anybody down to have a chat with them, but let's give you a rundown of the top 5 stage finishers. You got number 1, David Duke. Number 22, Harold Watkins in the DuPont Pepsi automobile. Matthew Rush in the Chase Elliott replica Napa Auto Parts. Curtis Preston in the Jim Beam, number 29. And 5th in that stage will be Andrew Little in the Waterford Concept, number 68 Chevrolet Camaro. Back there in 6th in that stage, it'll be the 15 of Trevor Speed in the Texas Ranger car. Greg Burns in the 12 automobile. Sean Smith will finish out 8th, and David Edwards 9th, and I'm pretty sure Daniel Gonzalez finished 10th. All those boys picking up a sweet little stage point. Just checking up on the chat there. 2 meters. How are you enjoying it out there, 2 meters? Just waiting on Mr. Joe to figure some technical difficulties on his mic end. I don't think anybody was able to stay out under this yellow. I don't think any of the leaders went in under this yellow, and I'll trap all those cars that were a lap down are still going to be a lap down when we go by green. It looks to be about maybe 6 cars on the lead lap. Trevor Speed, assumably with the more fresher tires of the bunch, as I do believe Trevor did get the lucky dog out of this deal, out of the stage caution. Yeah, he did. It's down him. EOL drop you back on behind all these lap down cars, which is all right as long as we get another quickie little. And welcome back, Joe White, from his technical difficulties.
Oh, well, I just had to step away there, man. That's all it was. Hey, well, we're still in caution here, and it's been interesting. This has really kind of mixed up the race a little bit. Tires and stuff like that. And we knew this was going to happen. Guys are still getting stuck a lap down.
Yeah, just like I was just telling everybody. All those cars a lap down, they're still all a lap down except for Trevor Speed, who was lucky enough to get a lucky dog.
Well, you got fast guys like Robert Fitzpatrick, who was leading early on. Michael Sheffield there, who won the first stage. So let's see what happens here. Lights off on the pace car. Corey, I tell you what. Well, this is the final one here. This is for all the marbles.
Well, this ain't the final restart, but it could very well be the final restart.
Yeah.
Get down into turn number 4, you're going to see that Ford Mustang iRacing pace car pull her down into the pit lane. They get in the restart zone, and they're off. Restart for the final stage. This is all for the marbles as David Duke gets a huge jump into turn number 1.
Good battle for second there, Curtis Preston. He takes over second over Matthew. Matthew's going to let him have it for the moment. Harold back there, right behind him, Trevor Smith and all. Remember, you're going to be mixed up with a little bit of lap traffic with a lot of lead lap cars, so it's going to be a little interesting. That's why you're going to see probably a lot of battling going on throughout the field. So we'll try to keep up with who's who and who's what.
Yeah, you're going to want to try to get yourself in that lucky dog spot, which right now is being held on by Craig Burns in the number 12 Peak Antifreeze Menards Ford Mustang. It does look like a Ryan Blaney recreation.
Oh, yeah. He's doing an outstanding job. He's working over, looks like Trevor Speed right now, that 22. Actually, the 22. Yep, that'd be Harold. My bad. Trevor Speed. Craig Burns.
He's the first car lap down. Just changing to David Edwards' hand for being the first car lap down.
Yeah, and that's going to change a lot, too, back there between those two. Now, Trevor Speed, I'm showing him in 6th.
Yeah, he was lucky dog under that caution and had to drop back.
Okay. That's what was confusing me with that. Every time I click on him, he was behind those other ones, but that happens when you got a lot of, like I say, lead lap down cars, lead lap cars. So Trevor Smith is the last car on the lead lap in 6th. David Edwards right now is the first car a lap down, along with Craig Burns. Sean Smith right there in 9th, and round out the top 10, Robert Fitzpatrick. And Robert definitely has his work cut out. At this moment, if I'm Robert, knowing that, hey, look, we're going to the final part of the race here, I don't know if I press the issue too much. Here's the thing. He's going to... I don't know if he's about going to need a caution to get back up. He's in trouble. I mean...
He's going to need a couple.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Even on green flag stops, I mean, because obviously he's still going to make his stop. So, I don't know. Where he's sitting at right now is just not going to help him.
Everybody here is going to have to make at least one more, and since it is 60 laps for this final stage, I'm going to bring out a term that I always use for 60 lap runs. You need to pit the dirty 30. You split it right halfway down in the middle. You pit 30 laps in the run, no matter what happens.
And we know they can do that too, so that's a good trade-off right there. We know they can go 30 laps. It won't benefit a guy like Robert, maybe Shaw, a lot of those guys that are stuck a lap down, though. They're going to need help, and then the help is basically obviously a caution, which I know the lead cars, they don't want to see that. They just want to see this thing go green. And we have seen some outstanding green flag running, as and with that said, you don't want to give up as a driver, like Shaw, Craig, and Robert back there in the back. You don't want to give up with any of those lap down cars, but you're still going to need a little bit of help there. J.R. Miller, he's a couple laps down. He's up to 16th.
Like we're seeing right now, you got David Edwards. He's a little bit on fresher rubber than these leaders.
Oh, J.R. Smith around.
And
caught Robert Patrick, too. Oh, we was watching it live as it happened. J.R. Smith, looks like the 18 car of Scott Taylor went high and got right on the outside. I don't think J.R. Miller, knew he was there. But unfortunately, that caught Robert Fitzpatrick. He was right there, so we were just like I said, that happens too. We wouldn't even mention it, but watching the replay here, was watching it live, but we'll watch it again. You saw the 18 get a run on the outside, and I don't think the spotter told JR you were clear in time, and man, Robert Fitzpatrick destroys the front of that car, and I don't think they have a fast fix. His night's pretty much done. Wow, I'm going to tell you what, Robert, one of the fastest cars out here all night long. Just like that, that's another thing that we weren't mentioning too much of, but just like that there, Corey, and you can be running, and that's in the middle of the pack. Things can happen.
Carnage. And to your point about faster pair, it does look like these guys do get one of them in this league. I'm not quite sure if Robert has used one. I'd assume he has.
I don't think he has, so maybe he'll be able to use that and get up. Remember, though, the problem with this is he needed a caution to get on the lead lap. He got the caution. The problem is he was involved in it, so it's not going to help him. Even though he's going to get a clean car out of it, frustration has got to set in for our pole sitter here tonight. Let's see if he fixes the car. And car's not being fixed. I don't know.
And I used my faster pair earlier for little damage for 1,000 there, Joe.
Yeah, because it's smoking, and with it smoking, you know and I know, it's pretty much engine damage, and it's done.
Yeah, he may have used his faster pair up earlier.
Because I did not see it, because I didn't see him fix that car right there at all. No, he's not fixed it at all. So, unfortunately, Robert Fitzpatrick pretty much is going to be done here tonight in this race.
Although he was able to pick up a good bit of stage points throughout that night.
Oh, yeah. And every little bit helps. I mean, I understand probably what he's going to try to do, maybe see if he can't get as much fixed. But with that thing smoking like it is, you know and I know, that means that's an internal problem. It is heavily damaged. Don't know how long the motor would be done. Don't even know if he can maintain minimum speed or so forth, so on, to get out here. But wow, just like that, you're running, trying, and I said before, mental mistakes, which again, it really wasn't a mental mistake on pit road for himself or a lot of the other drivers to get caught a lap down. It was basically just bad timing on the track. So, ooh, tough one here so far for some fast drivers.
And I'll bring the lap down point back up. David Duke he's a man on a mission to keep all these guys lap down as long as he can.
Why not? I mean,
yeah, why not?
I mean, that's
one less competition.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do, and I feel like that he did that before too. He kept a lot of these guys been lapped down. So, and strategy too. It's still too early to make that pit stop. See, that's another thing, Corey. Even though this caution came out, it doesn't mean you just go instantly jump down on pit road. Remember, they still have all got to make a pit stop. And you said split it 30-30. I'm with you on that one. Now, some guys might go a little longer, some might go a little shorter, but I'm with you on that one. And right now, that 30 mark is not there. So my hat's off to David, and that's what he's looking at. And it's not just David. You got Curtis also there, and Andrew. We'll just have to see if it works out for him. Don't spin them tires.
We're going to have a little bit over 40-some to go.
And that's still too early. Yeah, it's still way too early there, I think.
Unless one of these guys knows something we don't know, and go about 40 laps. I don't see everybody's going to at least have to come down at some point. David a little bit earlier than the rest.
I'm with you on that. I mean, unless they just, like you said, unless they know something we don't know or been following a different race. From what we've seen in the past, we know they can go 30 laps. We do know that they can go that. And almost go 35 laps. Yeah, and almost go 35 laps. But we have seen guys pit at 26 laps and still push the envelope. So I'm going to take it back to that 25-30. Like I say, I'm going to go what you are, probably split that thing up. But I think we will see somebody try to stretch it longer than 30. Why not if you got nothing to lose? And especially keeping a lot of these cars a lap down. I mean, this race has turned into now a strategy-style race. I really feel it. I don't want to take anything away from these guys. They're still fast. They're still good on the track. But this has really turned into a chess match here up front.
And here's another good point. David Duke, he's got maybe 10 laps of green flag tires.
Okay.
Compared
what about Curtis? He went into pits, didn't he?
I do believe Curtis on back, they all pitted just now.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that here's where you're going to see. I see what David's doing. He's staying out. Maybe obviously to see if he can't lead the most laps, get the bonus points, etc. But I don't think he's going to stay out front unless the caution flies real quick. But because I think tires are still king here. We've seen it either way. Questions are going to be answered here in just a few seconds as pace cars out of turn 4. A drop off on pit road. We're going back racing here. David Dukes and company up front. Now he's got to make sure he doesn't spin those tires. He does get to control the field. He's gone. I feel like it's only going to take maybe 1 or 2 turns here before those guys can be on top of him. You already see Curtis is staying with him on the top side.
Yeah. Those old tires aren't too good here at hot Atlanta. He's holding off a good bit coming out of turn number 2, going about a couple car lengths ahead of Curtis, but coming down the back stretch. Yeah, we got a car in the clear back off into the wall. I don't know who that is. It don't look like there's going to be a caution.
No, they got way off the track there, so I wasn't able to catch. I did see it in the background there live. Now, here's another thing out here, Corey, and we've mentioned it time and time again as this race goes on, and this is another thing that could play a factor, but you're going to see Curtis here. It's going to be just a matter of time. I'm going to say within this turn right here, those new tires, he's going to be able to plant that car and go right around him and take the lead. But with what we're seeing right here with the battle for the lead, later on in the run, let's throw some devil advocate out here and see some scenarios. Let's say that everybody makes their pit stops, and then we got about, 25 laps to go in the race. Caution comes out with 15 to go. Do you take a 2-tire stop? Because track position is another thing here that I think if you get enough cars behind you to stay out with you, then it might work.
That all plays into how other drivers pit. If other drivers pit, you're coming in. If they don't, you're coming in.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right, and it definitely would depend. If you have, like I say, for scenarios like that to play out, you definitely need some drivers. You can't be the only one to do it and sit out front. You'll be a sitting duck. But if you have maybe 4 or 5 that come along with you, yeah, good battle going on here about 5th and 6th place spot. 22 machine there of Harold. He's battling out with the 12 there of Craig. Kind of looks like he's just off the pace a little bit in that 22 machine.
He's not dead last on the lead lap cars, but he's close there. David again. Oh, they're shoving. They are shoving. Oh, we're going to take it 3 wide with Harold Watkins.
Yeah, he's going to drive down on the inside. Oh, Harold. That's Matthew right there. Matthew's trying to come through the field. Remember, Matthew was up front early on in the race.
And there's David Duke right in front of these two, Trevor Speed and Matthew. He's got a little bit older tires than these two cats, and they're about to fixing to blow some doors off of Orange.
We only got 7 cars on the lead lap, so wow.
Yeah, David Edwards, he's clear back off pace of the main pack. Back there in 7th.
Oh, side by side. Boy, I tell you what, they're close right there. Trevor Speed almost got up into the 1. You see, there's a cluster of machines back here battling around about the 4th, 5th place, 6th spot. Good racing going on between all these drivers.
Yeah, keeping it clean.
Yeah, they are.
That's what we like to see here.
And that's the thing, Corey. I got to get my hats off. I mean, I'll admit it. I'm new to this league. I'm new to a lot of these drivers. You know, I'm not very familiar with them. But they have done some outstanding racing here tonight. For the most part, this race has been clean. Sure, we've had a few cautions here and there, but my hat's off to them. We've seen some good close-quartered racing, passing, strategy involved out here. So, so far, so good.
And keep in mind, that number 12 car, he's sitting in the spot for a lucky dog if he were to catch a caution right about now. But he does have the number 5, Michael Sheffield, lurking 2 cars back from him.
And I think that's what number 12 was battling their Craig so hard to stay in front, because he knows if a caution was to fly at this point, he'd get that lucky dog wave around. Michael Sheffield, though, is trying to turn up the wick a little bit and see if he can't get up there, but he's marred in a little bit of traffic. And right there in front of them, you got Trevor Speed and Company. I mean, look at this. And that number 90, is that 50? Is it 90 or 54 machine?
That is a number 34 of Nolan Potter, who is 2 laps down battling with the lead lap cars.
You know, and that's another question that comes up. It's kind of a controversial style question that comes up a lot of. Lap down cars, battling lap cars. I'm in favor of lap down cars battling and racing. And I feel like they have just as much right on the track as lead lap cars, as long as they're not holding up the lap on the lead lap cars. And you see right there, obviously they're not. I mean, they're keeping pace, they're racing with them. I have no problem with this here. Now, I know that the lead lap car is probably going, hey, he shouldn't be racing me this hard. Get out the way. But again, hey, he's got an agenda on here too. And that's, if he gets a caution, get one of these laps back, and that could be even more bonus points. So as long as he's not impeding or holding up and he's just as fast, sure, by all means, race away.
Yeah, to that point, I agree. You pay to race on here, and if you're within a good position to get a lap back, as long as you're really not battling, like try hard battling with the other guy on the lead lap.
Yeah,
I'm all for a lap car.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that, like you just said right there, as long as you're not out there, try to do block here or there, every other place on the track, holding up the leader, holding up that lap down car. But if you're able to battle with them, race with them side by side, or stay in front of them and be fast, Absolutely.
It does
sure.
look like somebody shot her down pit road. First
David Duke.
hitter, David Duke, and it looks to be Clint Mata. He is 4 laps done. He is coming in with David Duke.
But remember, David Duke was one of those who had those older tires. He was the first one on the older tires. So this is definitely it's a schedule. It is scheduled. So we'll see. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. This right here, this couldn't come at a better opportunity for David Dukes, because he's going to be able to complete his pit stop, not go a lap down, come back out. Guess where he should be? In the lead on new tires.
They did just lap him as they came around the line. I think
he'll get the wave around. He'll get the wave around.
He's definitely going to get the wave around. I don't think he's going to have to start behind any of the lap down.
No.
And here's who it also benefits. That number 12 of Craig Burns. He's going to get the lucky dog out of this.
Yeah, looks like Michael just went by, got the wall, spinning around a little bit, hit it. David had a long pit stop for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, he's got some optional. He opted to get some optional repairs. He got a little damage on the front nose of that car.
Be a little smart idea.
Yeah, he did. Look, he's got a little damage on the front nose. I got a feeling since he figured, well, hey, you know, probably wouldn't have got the optional if it would have been a green flag stop, but since it flew caution, now he knows, hey, look, I can come in and I'm going to be fine. Let's cycle him around, though. See where it cycles him to. Under caution. Now, this is interesting because we know everybody at this point can make it all the way if it goes green. So now what do you do if you're a lap down? Pray?
You gotta pay it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta also pray that it definitely... I mean, you're hoping if you're a lap down, you're hoping for another caution. If you're on the lead lap, you're hoping this thing goes green the rest of the way.
Well, here's the thing. If you're 1 lap down, try to stay up.
But you're going to have to make a pit stop eventually.
Although it does look like everybody except for Mac Oakbrock, I'm thinking that's how you say his last name, the number 16, he's going to be one of those 1 lap down cars staying out, along with David Duke, obviously. He's going to stick on out.
Well, David Duke's staying out because he was on pit road that time.
Here's an interesting thing. Nolan Potter, he was 2 laps down, and he's staying out. He's going to get one of these laps back.
There you go.
A quickie little yellow here, but about 35 laps.
And it could have happened, too.
I mean, this could get him back on the lead lap in the long run.
Well, it's going to be interesting here to see the final here tonight for the RSR Racing League. Been a good one here at Atlanta Motorspeedway tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, we're over here on the YouTube side of thing on OSR Network and on Facebook OSR Network. So hit that like and a share here. I know the league would definitely appreciate it. They know they definitely want to get their name out here. Appreciate these guys here in the league, calling out to us here on the channel. Appreciate Corey coming up here in the booth with me, man. I tell you, you had fun so far, Corey?
So far, I'm having fun up here. Yeah, just letting iRacing tick on through.
Well, I would run a commercial, but I don't got a commercial.
Huh.
What's his name sent me a message and says, run a quick little commercial. Well, I don't.
That was when you were stepped away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I got somebody in the booth.
I'm entertainment. I'm in for the night too, Mater.
unless the league usually has maybe a promo video or something like that, I usually don't run a lot of commercials unless I do a few series that are full series races, and obviously, because we're talking 3, 4, 5 hour races, but
sponsors.
Throw some sponsors out there or something like that. And speaking of sponsors, hey, folks, I'll help. I don't mind helping out the leagues here a lot. RSR. Obviously, RSR Racing League, if you would like to sponsor a league or maybe looking to get your name out there, get in contact with these guys here. Ryan Izell, the man you want to get in contact with there, I believe, and here at the RSR Racing League. I know he'd appreciate maybe, any sponsors or entertain any, style offers and whatnot.
Prizes, paints.
Yeah, there you go. Anything like that. So definitely, give a shout out. It's worth a holler there. No doubt about it. I'm all for trying to help out, like I say, the leagues in general. I'm not saying that they are looking for sponsors or anything, but you never know. I mean, hey, I know I asked him earlier, did he have one? He said no, not yet. So hey, definitely get in contact with him if you're looking. Because I will tell you right now, I'm very impressed with the racing I've seen on the track. Very impressed. These guys have been, very calm. They put on a good one. Now, obviously, here with about 20-some laps to go, I always say, Corey, business is about to pick up. Run what you brung. And we're at the point of the race here that, it's go time. You've got to. You've seen what your car do. Now you've got to put it in place. As pace car's in, green flag flies. Curtis Preston out front, leading it. And I tell you, Matthew gets a good jump there in second.
Yeah, he did. He got a pretty good jump. That inside line, it looked like everybody was sleeping on this restart. And this may have been the money restart. As they all single file, mainly all the way back 12th, maybe 12th on track, anyways. Now, it does look like David did get trapped a lap down, which
he did, and I hate that on his end. Now he definitely is on newer tires, or he's on the same set of tires as everybody else. He's right there with the leaders. Obviously, he would need a caution to probably make it back, or he could race his way back. It's going to be a tough chore to do. As Curtis is up front, battle here around about 4th, 5th. Turbo Speed 95 machine there. David Edwards are going to go side by side.
He's saying, knock, knock, I'm a-coming. On the high side. Oh,
contact. Well, they traded some paint.
95 down, and he saved it. He saved it. Yeah, he did. Good job there,
man.
David.
Woo, well, right there, boy, that'll raise your hair up on your arm.
I need a heart rate monitor just to race and watch iRacing here.
See what it runs to. Well, I tell you what, 95, and waste no time there, David, but that allowed the one machine of David Dukes to get in front of him. We'll see what the other David here of Edwards got in store. He'll take that high lane. He's like, I know you're a lap down, but I got to get up here and get in position. So he's going to press the issue here with David.
Yeah.
I'll see how much Duke wants to race him here.
If you're Duke, you drop in, you follow that David Edwards, because you got the 78. He's lurking. He's about to knock on some doors here to get himself in a lucky dog position.
He does, and that's the thing. Duke's right there. I think he did a smart move. Normally you would see him probably battle a little bit, but I think he just, like you said, he dropped in because Kevin is coming right behind him, and that right there is a battle for, it's a battle for position 9th and 10th, but it was also a battle for who's going to get the lucky dog. And right now, Kevin looks to be a lot quicker going into the turns. I don't know if that damage on Duke's machine is hurting him at this moment. It might be, but that's 78 there, Kevin. He's coming to try to take that first place lap down and the 9th place spot.
From what I've observed so far in the past couple as David gets a little loose out of 2, Kevin can get momentum into squeeze down onto the apron. Kevin can get the run there into turn number 3, as I was about to say. and David seems to get the run into one and can keep the speed up on the front stretches. Kevin can keep it on the back. It's about a cat and mouse game here. Who has the best car for the long run?
We always contest that too. Kind of loose going in or fast in, slow out kind of thing, you know, and it looks like the 78 machine there is really, really fast going in, but he loses a lot going through the middle out. And it's actually bringing the 22 machine, but now he's several laps down into the picture. But we saw it right there, 78 there, Kevin. It looks like he almost had a drive on the inside, and he drove that thing in hard, but he got it right down the apron. He had to check out of it a little bit. That's going to lose some momentum. Got another run down the back stretch, and he's got such a good run going in. The problem is, you know, we're sitting there going, he looks like he's so much faster than Dukes. He should just be able to drive around him. Well, David Dukes is doing what he needs to do, protect the preferred line. And as long as he does that, doesn't matter how quick in Kevin is, he's going to have to check up like he's been doing the last several laps.
I think I saw a little bit of air get off the 95, and he got a little sideways up turn 2 right there in front of these two.
Yeah, that's a good racing.
Dukes, I would try to force the 95 to get up on the high side and just keep you side by side. Try to force Kevin into a 3-wide pass.
Well, David right now, or Dukes right now, is not wanting to give up the low line. I don't blame him because I think that's where Kevin wants to be, and I think that's his preferred line at this moment. So you can see him protecting that low line. You can see the caution's out. This is going to benefit David. Man, I tell you what a lucky one here for David. That's going to be old Clint Mota, and he is all smoking like a weed eater. Let's go back on the replay here and see what maybe happened. Looks like a single car wreck. We've seen it a lot here tonight. Guys get tight, get up there, bump the wall, and just kind of slide them around.
It looks like 88 was the wall going into one, bounce back. 82 just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, it happens a lot of times. He's right there on the back tailgate there of the 88 for the moment, and he's going on the inside. Oh, he was going for the pass, and then the 88 just got up in the wall. They both did, and from that point, man, Clint, nothing he can do. Hits the front car smoking, and you know what that means when it starts smoking. He hurt the engine.
Now, what do we run just there? About 6.
What did I say earlier? Now, what did I say earlier? 15 to go. Who's going to be the one that takes 2 tires? Who's going to be that one that gambles here? Now, everybody comes on pit road. That is a lap down.
You had 7 cars on the lead lap here. I say everybody takes 4 tires.
I'm with you on that. Oh, Trevor Speed, though. One of the top guys overshot his pit box. Had to back up. That's going to hurt him a little bit. Yeah, it looks like everybody's 4 tires. And I think really what changed the atmosphere on that one or would have changed the any strategy on that is the fact that there's only 7 cars. But with that said, guess what? Matthew Rush took 2 tires.
Oh, yeah. He won the race off pit road, took 2 tires. I'm assuming he took, if I had to guess, he took the left sides, maybe tighten that car up.
Well, he probably want to loosen it up because it looks like these things are getting tight as the run goes on.
He might have wanted to loosen it up. That would be a right side tire pit stop.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see if it pays off for him. See, now, here's my theory on this. I've seen a lot of it here. And again, I really feel like, yes, track position plays a key. Obviously, we're going to be around about 10 laps to go. Another thing I need to look in the rule book here is, do we have a green-white checkered? I'm going to say we do, so that's got to play in a factor there. But you see out front, Matthew has been quick all race long. He was coming through the field. Obviously, 2 tires going to free this car up a little bit if he feels like it was tight. And we've seen a couple cars getting tight. Some guys like looser machines. But I really feel like a strategy like this doesn't pay off unless you have 2, 3, maybe 4 cars behind you that either do the same thing or don't pit. But when you have the rest of the field behind you on 4 tires, I think, yeah, Matthew might be able to stay out a couple laps on the lead, but it'd be a matter of time before Curtis and them just run him down. And again, with 4 tires, they're going to be able to just drive that thing into the turn. I get the strategy, and for one, it could pay off. I've been wrong. 2 tires could pay off because we could get a caution early. Never know.
Well, it does put him in control of this restart.
It does. Yes, it does. Well, what y'all's feelings out there?
About restarts, you want to be the one in control.
Yeah, then you're right. I agree with you on that one. Looking in my rearview mirror, I would feel more comfortable. I had about 3-4 machines that did the same thing, rather than looking at 8 drivers, especially guys like David Dukes. Right there. Curtis has been there. A lot of those guys up front, all on 4 tires. Now, with that said, Daniel Gonzalez, I hope that is right. Gonzalez? Is it Gonzalez?
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez? Right. Well, after we butchered his name to death, he's going to yell at us either way. So, sorry, Daniel. We'll say Daniel 2 or 12. He only had a 5-second pit stop. That doesn't mean he only took fuel, no tires. I don't know if that's by design or he just messed. I don't know why, but he's up to 9th, so it'd be interesting to see. And I don't know what the strategy is on that one, unless he's just way off cycle on pits with everybody else. And he has taken 7 pit stops, as opposed to a guy like David Dukes. Some have taken 7 and 8. So I don't know. I tell you what, Corey, if you're a driver, if you're Matthew right now, what's going through your mind? What would you be thinking?
You're about to take your 10 best laps. I think that Daniel is one of your waiver rounds here, along with a lot of other cars.
I got you.
I might put the 34 Nolan Potter back on the lead lap if I'm correct.
Well, are you worried? If you're Matthew up there, are you worried that everybody behind you took 4 and now you're just sitting here like, okay, do I got enough to make it? Or it's going to be 10 to go when we go green to make it to the end here? Enough to hold these guys off.
Well, let's see. He ran his fastest lap early in the race on lap 3. It's final 10. That's go time. You're about to run your 10. He is about to set a world record right here on these final 10 laps.
All right. Well, got it. The old saying, made the bed, you got to lay. So we'll see what happens here. Pace cars out of turn 4. Matthew Rush, Curtis Preston up front, lead the field to the green. And he does get that jump, which that's the leader's advantage right there, to be able to get a small jump. And what he's going to pray for is those guys back there battle side by side. Now, this will help him if they do get in a battle. Now, that's one thing we were talking about. If those guys there in second, third battle it out a lot, door to door, which they're single file now, the more they say single file, that doesn't help him. But if they battle, then yes, that helps him more than anything.
Don't look now, but here's a guy we haven't even really talked about all night, Andrew Little. Yep. He is up there in second, lurking on the number 11 there.
Yeah, and like I said, I got a feeling here, Corey, it's just going to be a matter of time, Andrew and them. Now, what might happen here is you see the 29 of Curtis and you see the 95 of David. What did I say before? Yeah, but the problem is he let him have the inside lane, and it's all shot right there at that point. Yeah, those 2 tires are just not. Yeah, 2 tires just not going to hold up to the 4 tires on the inside.
Here comes Curtis on the inside. Ooh, this Curtis going for the lead.
He's going to try, but it's not going to be. You got 4 tires, 2 tires right there. Matthew's going to try to hold it. Matthew's going to try to hold it.
Oh, Andrew going for the crossover into turn number 3. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Crossover on the 29. 29 is gonna keep it right on the back bumper.
Yeah,
It is going to be side by side going into turn number 1 once again. They are 2 wide, 3 rows back with 6 to go.
Yep, 6 to go out front. Curtis Preston there, Andrew Little in second, David Edwards there in third. Trevor, like you said, it is go time up front. All these guys are sitting on 4 tires. 2-tire man there, Matthew, just nothing he can do. And out front, Curtis doing everything he can. A little contact out of the turn.
And Curtis wants these guys to just keep her side by side right behind him. He's looking in the mirror thinking, you boys keep it side by side as David Edwards gets by Andrew Little. And Andrew is a little bit off of speed, holding these guys off. Trevor's speed's getting slowed up. Craig Burns getting slowed up by Andrew out of turn 2.
Yeah, we got Curtis out front, David right there in second, Andrew Little sitting in third, Trevor Speed up to fourth, and old Craig Burns right there hanging on to fifth. Matthew, though, for the moment, he has fallen back to the 6th place spot. Number 12 machine there. Craig trying to work over the number 13 or 15 machine as he's up at the wall there a little bit down the turn. So it looks like they've all kind of got single file spread out. We're getting down here, 5 to go here.
It's the battle between the beers. Jim Beam versus Jack Daniels.
Well, let's hope they don't drive like they're drinking any of it right now, because they're driving like they right now, boy, I tell you what, they are definitely trying to drive the wheels off of these machines. As out front, Curtis is leading it. But David right there in second, Andrew Little up in the third. He's got Trevor right there tearing down the back bumper of him in the 3rd place spot. Good battle going on there. So you're going to see some good battles here. And that 12's there.
Almost a little bit of contact. I thought they were going to touch and send one of them flying in the infield.
Well, he's getting as close enough as he can to maybe try to take some air off the wing of that machine. Now he's going to go to the high side, and that car just pushed up the track and he had to let out of it there because it was heading for the thing. And boy, they got a battle up front. I see it. Well, you got to. You got to.
That's what Curtis wants to see.
Oh,
Curtis
absolutely.
wants to see that.
Curtis wants those guys back there to go side by side and just duke it out for the rest of these 4 laps to go.
Going 2 to go.
Yeah, they want them to guys to. He wants them to get back there and just battle it out, just tooth and nail, so that way he can just walk away. And you can see them guys there trading some paint almost out of turn down the bad stretch, and looks like Andrew
took it out of 2. We're coming to the white flag this time by, as long as we don't get a caution.
Man, unfortunately, Matthew has fallen back to 6. White flag, one more time.
White flag, sponsored by nobody quite yet.
We'll just say white flag in the air. One more time for Curtis. He's got a solid lead. We're going to follow him here down the back stretch. He'll head off down the back stretch for the final time in the 3rd place span. Yeah, David's off. Trevor's going to make it up there, but for the final time,
they're wrecking.
Well, we'll watch that in a minute.
J.R. Miller wrecking in the back stretch.
Yeah, we'll
Big
make
one on the back.
Out of turn 4. Final time here at Atlanta Motorspeedway with RSR Racing. Curtis Preston wins it. Andrew Little comes in second. Trevor hangs on to 3rd. And as far as David Hall was one of the ones who got involved in a wreck back there. But, man, what a finish to this one here. My hat's off to these guys. For the most part, I mean, it was a solid, clean race here. Strategy involved, had a few cautions here and there, but man, I tell you, I got my hats off, man. This was a good race.
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty exciting race from up here in the booth as Curtis is doing his little victory lap. And Jim Beanie's gonna be celebrating.
Well, let's see if we can't see if I can't move these guys for one. If we can't find, I'll let you get a word in with Trevor. Well, still can't move anybody, so I want to get up on an admin right fast. Hang on a second, folks. All right. Hang on, hang on. All right, folks, we're back here, and we're going to get some of these guys up here and get an interview with them. Corey, I'll tell you what, man, an awesome race. You've got close to Andrew, which is our second place man here tonight. Caught up with him, and get some words with him.
Hey there, Andrew. So you got second place down there on the track. How did your race go?
I don't think I guess my race could have gone one spot better, but Curtis is pretty hard to pass, and he's quite fast. So just hanging on his tail for that long is a pretty big win for me.
Yeah, you had a pretty good battle going there in the final 3-4 laps. Looked pretty fun. Did you have fun?
Dude, I got goosebumps still. That was a lot of fun. Really tight racing with the 95, and unfortunately Curtis got us at the end there, but I'll take it, man. That's probably some of the most fun I've had on iRacing in a while.
All right. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank?
To thank Waterford Concepts. They've been helping me to make this possible, and I got to thank the wife too for the patience of even letting me do this kind of junk.
There you have it.
Well, man, I tell you what, second place man right there, Andrew Little. Outstanding job by him. Well, we've caught up with our winner here tonight, Curtis Preston. Curtis, Joe White in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, I tell you what, you were there at the right time, right place. The cautions fell your way, but you still had a rocket ship out there, and got Jim Bean on the side, and it looked good. How was you feeling throughout this race?
Felt pretty good. Got out in front there and got the clean air. Clean air just made all the difference in the world. If you could get a couple car lengths on a guy, felt like he could stay out front. And then as the track rubbered in later on in the race, the tire wear got a lot better. That first big long green stint we had, it was pretty rough on the right front.
Well, we saw that. Looks like the cars got a little bit tight. I mean, they were kind of looked loose going in, tight coming off. I mean, was you feeling that any throughout the race, or how was your car handling?
Yeah, you got a little loose going in. If you put too much wheel in it and tried to cut it down in too hard, it definitely tried to step out on you. It was manageable, though, and the middle was pretty neutral, but definitely after about 15, 20 laps, you started feeling the tight on exit.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, you still had a bad, fast machine here tonight at Atlanta. They call it Hot Atlanta for the RSR Racing League. Looked good out there in that 29. You got anybody you want to thank for the win?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the guys at RSR, Ryan and Scott, for putting on this league. It's a good league. A lot of fast guys in here. A lot of clean racing. I'd like to thank my teammates at Slide Jobs Racing, Mike Sheffield, David Edwards, and Matt Obrick. They help. We test together a lot, get ready for these races. And I got to thank my wife, Courtney, for putting up with me being in the basement.
Hey, definitely always got to throw out the family members there. Good job here tonight, putting it in victory lane here. Race here at Atlanta, number 2. The man right there, Curtis Preston. Again, Curtis, congratulations on the win.
Yes.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, our third place guy, Trevor Speed, he's having a little bit of problems technical on his end here, Discord. If we don't get a talk with him tonight, we definitely will get him next week and get a chat with him sometime with an awesome run for his third place tonight. Well, I'll tell you what, Corey, man, what a race here at Atlanta. Like I said, it had a little bit of everything. Had some strategy involved with some tire wear. Some guys we thought that were fast, messed it up there. That caution fell, wrong time, wrong place. But got any final words on this one?
It was just amazing. It was good to be up here in the booth first time watching these guys all race together. I mean, it was all amazing.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, it was a good race here. Curtis Preston there pulling it off in victory lane. Well, we're going to leave here tonight. Everyone, hope you enjoyed it, and have a good night.
fear, focused on my own way, with a never looking back.